The diesel class seen here on passenger duties is a DFH3 class. But diesel, with all its conveniences, will never have the same fiery spirit so epitomised by steam locomotives in action on the main line. Watching the trains go by is the best way to appreciate the power generated. Almost American outlines cutting through the scenery conjure up experiences in another time and place. Nowhere else in the world can you see 1986 built locomotives on freight in 1986. Cities like Anshan, south of Harbin, with a population of over 1 million, have a skyline of blast furnace chimneys emitting clouds of red smoke and ash and giving the town a permanent dust storm of red pollution. The steelworks is the principal employer in the city, creating occasional bicycle rush hour chaos. Here, pollution masks help keep the smog that can last for days at a time out of the lungs of the local population. The advantage of such intense industrial activity is that it creates a further haven for both older and industrial classes of steam locomotive. Predominantly, the scene is filled with SY 282s, still in production at Tangshan. Otherwise, 262 YJs. The movement of hot slag and molten waste can generate a cauldron of activity to view. The occasional 060 tank in the XK class series provides an unusual and rare type to view both here and at other industrial locations. As the smelting continues 24 hours a day, iron and steel ooze their way into moulds fitting for tomorrow's China. Will it be steam or diesel, though, that are the end result? Not too much of an encouraging sign are these recently delivered General Motors diesels. Steam will always be the major attraction. These views show Dalian-bound trains out of Anshan. This SL class arriving at Anshan is heading south. We, however, return north now to the coal mining area of Fushun, where there are more rarities to see. Interestingly, passenger railway departures at Anshan are honoured with a fanfare from a scratched and by now well-worn recording and tradition. Such characteristics can make travel an experience, like the all-Chinese destination boards and, of course, hard-class travel for as long as you can stand it. A train ride in China can be the best way for you to meet the Chinese and vice versa. Fushun is home to one of the world's largest open-cast coal mines, spread over acres and with the attraction of steam and electric action. Here, a KD-6 or S-160 of 1940s type, one of the last of 4 at Fushun, is shown off. It is from a standard USA stable. Steam makes its appearance now for permanent way duties. Electrics, like this Skoda triple unit of late 1950s vintage, are the norm on Fushun's vast 1500 volts DC system. With such availability of cheap coal and labour resources, steam power may be evident in China for many years to come. However, the older classes, like this JF seen at Benxi, are retired for stationary boiler usage alongside works and factories. Here too, this early SL seems doomed to be almost buried in the foundations of Benxi's new diesel shed. A sad and undignified burial for one dragon. Others, though, like this USA Porter TC, will soldier on, belching fire and flame, snorting steam and soot, like a dragon itself harnessed in service to China's modernising industrial scene. Hastening by their feverish activity may be their own end. China's railways have no more worthy a dynasty than their own dragons of steam.
For one glorious week in September 1989, South African Railways turned back the clock of steam operation to the time when American-looking steam ruled the 146-mile Dar Kimberley Steel Raceway, making it the premier steam attraction in the world. The famous 484s, still used on this line, were joined by 8 classes of preserved locomotives to provide a non-stop 24-hour show of big-time freight and passenger steam railroading, with delightful emphasis on double headers. The Great South African Steam Festival is steam railroading as it was meant to be. Handsome, massive steam locomotives working full bore in the style once common in North America. This 60-minute tape is steam railroading as it was meant to be. What 8444 and 4449 are to the United States, German Federal Railways 01-1100 is to Europe. This great class of Pacific locomotive once pulled Germany's finest passenger trains. Then, these mighty 462s were retired, victims of dieselization and electrification. In 1985, 01-1100 was completely rebuilt to star in the 150th anniversary of German railroads. In 1986, a German film crew chartered the locomotive for a historic taping session over Germany's most scenic lines. 01-1100, Steam Star of the DB, is a 53-minute tape of stunning pacing and line-side action with occasional background music, but without foreign language narration. Once they roamed the windswept foothills and majestic mountain passes of the American West. They twisted and bellowed through the coal fields of Appalachia. Then they were driven to the brink of extinction. They were America's articulateds, the biggest, best, and most powerful steam locomotives to ever stalk the earth. And now they're back in the new Goodhart Productions videotape, America's Articulateds, the Challenger and the A. Follow the story of Union Pacific 3985 as it returns to steam operation in 1981, double heads with 8444 through Wyoming, and undergoes conversion from coal to oil burning in 1990. Climb aboard the Challenger to see what it's like in the cab of the world's largest operating steam locomotive. Travel alongside for great pacing action. Then, be trackside for 3985's most thrilling performance as the 4664 single-handedly pulls Union Pacific's hottest train, the American President Line's double stack, up Wyoming's Archer Hill and on to North Platte, Nebraska. Just as an articulated locomotive is like two locomotives in one, this is like two tapes in one, because the Challenger shares top billing with Norfolk and Western's renowned A-Class number 1218 in a full hour and 20-minute presentation. Watch as freshly restored number 1218 travels from Alabama to Virginia on its first long-distance run in 1987. The world's most powerful operating steam locomotive paces stablemate number 611 during the National Railway Historical Society Convention in Roanoke. There's double heading with nickel plate road number 587, and even triple heading with 587 and 611. Join us on cool, clear days in the Deep South for fan trip operation. Watch over the firebox of the Class A. Inspect the whirling drive wheels and flailing main rods. And then stand back as the 2664 blasts up the grades on home rails in Virginia. Yes, railroad enthusiasts throughout the world have proclaimed America for its great articulated locomotives. Now we bring you both active articulateds on one great tape. America's articulateds, the Challenger and the A.